Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Great show yesterday. Appreciate you guys all coming back. Lot to talk about, lot to talk about. Think it's going to take us a few shows to get through it. Lots to absorb. So let's see who is in here. How do you pronounce this? I'm just going to say show 320. Good morning. Aggie, good morning. Uli, good morning. Preschool Granny, Spicy Lady. There's my girl Cat. Two Boston moms. Hello. I am still a little bit congested, so if you hear sneezing and coughing, I am sorry. I apologize in advance. Fruit Loop, good morning. Christine, good morning you said from Austin, Texas. How's the weather down there? Momo, good morning. Momo is in Houston. It's going to be gorgeous here today. Not a cloud in the sky, about 75 degrees. I love it. Hello, Clark. How are you, honey buns? Lisa, hello. Bailey, hello. Sonia, Katrina. Mama Kay, how's it going? Hello, Amanda. Amanda, you left some awesome comments on the channel yesterday. I'm actually going to talk about a couple of those. And let me see. Okie Bree, hello. Letting everybody get settled in. If I miss saying hi, Angel P, hello. Lisa again. 7 Alibis, Big T. If I miss anybody, like I said, I'll get you throughout the show because you guys always say awesome comments. Sergeant Friday, hello. All right, Juicy Tequila Bobo, or as I say, JTB and Tinky Tink. Hope everyone is doing good. Thought I had the chat slowed down. Guess I didn't. Oh, I do see Audrey says hi from Oklahoma. Well, hi from Oklahoma from me. All right, guys. What are we thinking? What are we thinking about all the bombs Jose dropped? Now, Justice for All was in here yesterday. Super sweet guy. He said, he was going to be on the show today. If you guys see him come in, please alert me so I can drop the link, because he did tell everybody yesterday he was going to come up today. I have a feeling he's really, really busy. Okay? Really busy. I wouldn't know, because like the biggest interview I've ever landed was I interviewed the cafeteria lady in 4th grade. All right. So, but I can imagine that he has a lot going on with that interview. So while you guys are getting settled in, hi, Katie. I'm going to go through some comments from yesterday. Hang on. All right. Always, always, always love your comments. Love them, love them. Here we go. Danielle, I just want to say, after listening to Jose's interview, I take back all the harsh comments I've said. He was a positive figure in the kids' lives and showed them compassion and love. Jose, if you see this, thank you. Thank you for finally coming forward and sharing your side. Thank you for loving those kids. I got that feeling too, that he truly cared about the children, truly cares about the children. This is the only interview from any of the people involved, know the family or anything like that, where I got a sense, I found more out about Summer and not just them talking about themselves. And he showed true emotion and remorse. Did you guys get that too? Lucia, he seemed very sincere. Yeah, he did. Sherry said, 9 months in the womb, 9 months in a web of deceit. I love that comment. Love it. Here we go. Maybe Candus and Grandis didn't mention the creepy guy phone call because it didn't happen. Some of what Hunter said was lies. That might be a lie. That might be a lie, or he could have been lied to. And they forgot the lie. Candus forgot the lie. That's why it was no longer mentioned. When she has been asked about that phone call, every time she always says that didn't happen. Connie, look at what happened to the West with a grand jury indictment. I believe wholeheartedly that this is what is happening with Summers' case. The grand jury will indict them soon. It took a year and 2 months for the Wests to be indicted, so I believe it will happen any day with the Wells. I wouldn't be surprised at all, if we don't see something happening soon with that. I really don't. Grand juries are secret and they're sealed. You know what I mean? Not like they're going to tell us, but they will tell us if the grand jury comes back and says, yeah, they think they have enough to go on. Okay. Dragonfly said, they have to put together a good case because, as you have said before, they only have one shot. They can take it before a grand jury and present this evidence, and if they think there's something, they have a good chance of winning a regular jury. They know so much more than we do. They have all the digital information. We have speculation and nothing else. Right. And we have our discussion, and we do have our theories. We have our speculation. That's true. But that's the reason that we only talk about, in here anyway, what the TBI has said, what law enforcement has said, what the actual media has reported, and like we're going to talk about today, what the actual people involved have said. Here's another comment that actually made me laugh. You know what? A Netflix documentary just might be what the doctor ordered. Get this story out worldwide. I laughed because it could easily be a Netflix series. And Dawn actually mentioned it one time. Okay, here's another one. The way Jose speaks, his tone, I really feel he is telling the truth. The warmth and feeling in his voice for Summer is more than her own family gives us. They will rot in H for eternity. Makes me so sick. He does. He shows a lot of remorse, regret, and I mean like emotion. And the details, I keep listening and listening as much as I have been able to get through it, because it's hard. It is hard. He has lies don't carry like those type of details. You know what I mean? And he's very, very detailed. In my opinion, Candus did not want Jose to speak. She acted like she didn't know his name when Chris McDonough interviewed her, and then she said the wrong state. I think Jose knows too much about the living conditions and treatment of the kids. That goes without saying. He knows a lot. It makes me wonder that whatever happened to Summer was a result of neglect and not prearranged. Makes me wonder too, considering the conditions he is talking about. Absolutely. And I'm not saying that Jose is a perfect person. You couldn't be if you're hanging around them. I'm sorry. That's how it is. No one's perfect. So no, I'm not trying to make him out to be like a saint or anything like that. We don't know the guy. It's just what information he has given us shed so much light. And again, great job to Justin. Great job to ICU. I am thinking about that last comment. You know, a lot of people, of course, and I knew this would happen. I knew it would, because I was thinking the same thing. Why now? Why did it take him so long? He did explain, personal things he had going on. Has anybody thought that possibly he's been threatened? I mean, Candus made sure to make a special trip over to Allie's to confront the two of them about what they said to the TBI. And she's right in that comment. Well, we're going to go back through it one of these days. When Chris McDonough was at the water with her, he asked about Jose. She does a double take and tries to avoid that question and that name altogether. It was actually in the analysis he did with Steve. Hi, ICU. What's up, girlfriend? ICU. I emailed Justin the StreamYard link. I don't know how often he checks his email. ICU, if you want to come up, I'll drop the link. Hang on. I have been extremely disorganized this week. I don't know if it's my allergies or what. All right. So I've got Deb and Pat in the back. I see you. Do you see the link if you want to come up? Tanya. Yes. Brooks, I think everyone was threatened by the Wells family. Yep. And it's odd to me that now Don's in jail and he talks now. Cat giving props and love. I love it. I love it. I see you. How are you? Big night for you the other night. Way to go, girl. Oh, hang on. Give and love. I love it. I see you. Jose did not know Don was in jail. Oh. So he's not following the YouTube stuff then. Because if he was following any of the YouTubers, he would know Don's in jail. That was another thing that's been asked. You know, if he's been watching the YouTube stuff. Well, if he didn't know Don was in jail, he's not up on things. He is not up on things. So I'm going to bring up a couple of my gal pals, and we're just going to talk about this interview. I have a few things written down I wanted to discuss. We'll wait on Justin and then bring him and ICU up because I know they are busy. Good morning, Deb. You watched the whole interview.
Good morning, Brooks. Yes, I did.
Did you cry at all? Because I know there was a couple points that I lost it.
I did, yeah. It's hard to listen to, but the truth always is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get too taken aback when Dawn and Candus or even Grandis talk, although I will say the nap did me in, and the fact that she basically admitted to not being at the swimming hole, but they don't really provoke an emotion out of me, if you know what I mean. He did.
Well, yeah, because he was very emotional and regretful and, even seemed to be tearing up at some points.
And I think it had to be very hard for Justice for All and ICU as well, because he paints a very vivid picture of child abuse.
Yeah, big props to them because I don't know how they got through that. I'm not sure I would have been able to Justin and ICU.
Yep.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I could have done there. I mean, they did a whole lot better job than I ever did, than I ever would do, I should say.
Andrew, please don't use my son's pick at all. Thank you. Never have, my friend. Never have. I feel really bad for your son, Andrew. I feel really bad for your son. I do. All right. Deb's back. Not Deb. Deb's up here. Pat's backstage too. She watched it. Want to get Deb is already up here. I told you, my brain this week. Pat. Hello, Pat.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Pat.
Hi, Deb.
My goodness. Hang on. ICU said lots of tears. I wondered, ICU, how you got through it. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. So, I mean, to me, when I was listening to this interview, this was bigger to me than Andrew Morton talking to Monica Lewinsky or Princess Di, okay? I was like, oh my God, what did I hear? One thing I have noticed, just in, comments and stuff like that, people are going back to the battered woman syndrome. Okay, well, the battered woman, and I do not think that Dawn is any Prince Charming at all. I don't think there was domestic violence in that house. She does a lot of irresponsible and very dangerous behaviors for a battered woman. I'm going to say that. She was live again last night on YouTube, and she appeared to be drinking. So,
she was drinking.
Good luck. Good luck trying to get your boys back. Good luck.
Yeah, no. And she, I mean, I listened for like 5 minutes, but I saw her grab like a bottle and hide it with her two hands. It would look like a Mickey, like a 10 ounce, and hold it with both her hands so that it wouldn't show what she's drinking, and everybody was calling her out. I thought the comments were hilarious. You know, what are you drinking? And then she said, "Oh, just Mountain Dew." And she grabbed a can behind her, and then you just heard her open a bottle and put some whatever she was drinking into the Mountain Dew can and drink it out of that.
She's a grown woman. What's it matter if she's drinking? It only matters to CPS, and CPS doesn't seem to matter to her.
No.
All she's doing is blowing smoke up everyone's ass about getting her boys back. So what's your take on that, Pat? Because I mean, there's people that are going back to the battered women's syndrome. It seems that Jose, you know, he showed some sympathy towards her. Let me put it that way.
Well, one of the things that stood out for me when he was talking was he said Candus was a different woman than what he knew, like what she's acting like now. And that again prompted me to think, well, that's because Dawn's in jail. And when Jose met Candus, Dawn was in Utah. So he met the other Candus.
Right. The
So
Candus, okay.
You know what I mean? So I think she definitely is portraying a different person each time, when Dawn's home, when Dawn's not home. And battered woman syndrome, well, I would say she was probably brought up in a world where that it wasn't shocking to her. Let's put it that way.
Agreed.
You know, and I think she hands out a little bit as well. As Jose had said, you know, he came up and she was on top of him, pounding him, yelling at him, you know, so I don't think she's one to sit back in a corner and get beat.
Exactly. I'm going to look at this comment real quick because it's on everybody's mind, along with a lot of other things. Skip Tracer, why are we not questioning Allie? I would love to. She was the custodial parent and she gave consent? ? Really? And is Sherry really her mother? I believe Sherry is Allie's mom. Okay. Andrew, tell us who these women are and why they're trading phones with kids. I don't know anything about the trading phones. I have a lot of questions for Allie. I want to know what the hell was going through your mind letting, I can't even say it.
No.
Kat, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to find, hang on, this tweet that Jennifer Coffindaffer put up. Hold on. Here we go. At Coffindaffer FBI, Jose Roman made disturbing claims against Candus and Dawn. If he lied, he could face slander charges. I'm glad she put that in there because he would be crazy to just be making this stuff up. And I don't see Justice for All or ICU giving a platform to just made up stuff. No way. I don't see that happening at all. If true, Candus and Dawn could have violated the law. Hoping Ellie will interview Jose about claims and investigate. True info related to Candus, Hunter, and Dawn. Hashtag Summer Wells and then relevant. Absolutely.
He did mention he told the FBI everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they had a lot to go through.
Mm-hmm.
We just heard an interview. Imagine.
Yeah.
And I would have imagined he told the FBI all of this months back, like months and months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they've got a pretty good idea of what they needed to look into. And like when Jose came to live with them, he didn't know Candus or Dawn. He knew Andrew, apparently. That's what I gathered.
That's what I gathered too. And Andrew is the one that brought him from New York to Tennessee. When he said his friend's children's mother, that would be Allie, she made the introduction to Candus. He said this was in February or March up until the fall. I'm trying to gather how he came across Dawn when Dawn was there, but I haven't gotten that far into it.
Well, apparently Don was in Utah
Okay.
when he lived there. From what I gathered, and it sounded like he lived there for 5 months without Don, and then Don came back and he lived there about a month while Don was in the home.
Mm-hmm.
But he was thrown into it. Like I think he was very sincere on the phone. I did get into a few tears when he was talking, and it sounded like he had like survivor's guilt. He felt very bad for just upping and leaving. And then with what happened with Summer, that's sort of my take on it. And I felt so bad for him.
I got that too, and I'm glad you used that phrase. That's what I was thinking when I was listening to it, especially when he was breaking down,
Yeah.
at survivor's guilt. And just like everybody else, thank you, Gaelic girl. They have gotten thrown into this toxic circle that Dawn and Candus have created.
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody, especially the children, deserve this. No one.
No, it was so disturbing listening to little bits and pieces of, like, when Justin was asking him questions, he came back right away, very quickly with the answers. Like, I don't think any of this was made up. Sometimes your memory plays tricks on you, and you might, remember a few facts that might not be true. But to me, like, at least 99% of it was all very sincere, and he was telling us what he remembered. It was very upsetting. It really was.
Very upsetting, very disturbing. And what really, besides some key things that we had to hear that go on at the house, he brought Summer to life in a way.
Yes. Yep.
And more than anyone that has spoken about this case, he brought her to life. He actually talks about Summer and not himself. He shows emotion, regret, and then in all of this, what he's explaining to us, we see like a really detailed, dark, and disturbing picture.
Oh, definitely. And he felt that way as well. You could tell the little things he was describing, and the way he talked about it, like the bathroom. That's number one, privacy. Everybody wants to have a private time in the bathroom, and you could tell that really bothered him. It's just not right. If you're going to finish a room, then Dawn, finish the bathroom.
Yeah, finish the bathroom, Dawn. Come on. How to
even
drywall. You're in construction. You could have fixed up that house. So let's talk about that. The pictures we've seen of the house, the account he gives, it's actually much, much worse than we ever thought of. Mattresses on the floor, just with blankets on them. A bunch of like dressers stacked up, which is like the barrier between, I guess, like the bedroom and the bathroom. He describes the dungeon. I believe that's what he was renting. Okay.
Yes.
So down there, and he talks about a couch in front of the door that they say, the door that no one can get in, no one can get out. Allie mentioned this couch one time. I cannot remember whose show she was on, who she was talking to. It's driving me insane. And I remember thinking, how weird. So they had a couch down in the dungeon. It was against the door. So he goes on to explain, yeah, this couch is there. It's against the door. The kids would sit there and watch the TV. He even knows the size of the TV. One of the kids in particular, one of the boys, would actually fall asleep on that couch, like sleep there at night, which, whatever. Crime and Justice. The basement door with the couch in front of it. So I want to know, where's the damn couch now? Summer didn't move the couch.
And he also said that door had no lock on it, and that's why they put that sofa against it.
Yeah, that was very interesting. What happened to the couch? I don't remember seeing the couch at all in Chris's interview. I do remember hearing something about it, though, Brooks. And because in my memory, I thought when someone mentioned it, it was outside the house, outside, like against the door.
Yeah, that's the opinion I got. I'm not the opinion, but the idea I got as well.
Okay, Tina said it was unmasked. Okay, that does sound right. So unmasked. I got to go look at that today. All right, so there's a couch against the door. Now, mind you, I don't think he had been to the house, anytime around when Summer went missing. So, but that couch went somewhere. So let's say he hadn't been back since October of 2020. She disappeared June 15th, 2021. They're not real big about organizing, remodeling, cleaning up. So where'd the couch go?
Right. We'll have to ask Chris that one. Maybe he saw it down there.
That's what I'm wondering, because he panned around the room, but I don't remember seeing the door, only the outside. But I think Chris would have said, there's a couch against the door. I'm assuming that the couch is no longer there. Another thing that really creeped me out, is, he kept saying like these women, Allie and Candus, I'm assuming, like thought he was cute. So he had like this haven of women that were trying to get with him.
Are you talking about Jose?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was not interested whatsoever. He was going through a hard time, a divorce and everything else, and he just wanted to, he wanted to help out, but he didn't want any relationship or anything like that. That's what he said. Pat?
Good call, Jose. Good call, Jose.
I felt sorry for him. I did. When I was listening, I thought, oh my God, what did he step into when he rented that room?
We know because we had to hear it.
You know what, though? That he would, in a way, he was a big blessing to those kids.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. He acted more, I want to say more like us. Like when he came out with an observation or something shocked him, I resonated with that. It's like, yeah, that's how I felt.
Yep. Well, he talks
so
about
I could relate to
the first time they approached the house, and he said it's unkept lawn. There was a snake, beehives, just deplorable conditions. Roaches in the dog food, stuff like that didn't shock me at all. Okay, if he had said, "Oh, it was actually not that bad," I'd have been like, "I don't think so, dude." But he makes it sound like, this was almost like something from like a horror movie. Well, it is, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, it is.
So yesterday when we were doing the 9-month recap, which there's not enough time to recap the whole 9 months, we hear an interview with Don when he was talking to, I can't remember what station it was. Anyway, and he was adamant Summer would never wander off. Summer would never she would just never wander off. Yeah. Okay, Jose tells a different story. She wandered off many times. Why have they always tried to sell the abduction story instead of what makes more sense? She's wandered off several times before. We know that's what happened this time. This time she got further away.
Exactly. If they had said she always takes off and they described the incidences that Jose described, then the abduction theory might even hold a little bit more weight. But they didn't think of that.
That's what I'm saying. But they were so adamant to make themselves look like these helicopter parents that they keep selling abduction. It would make more sense. The first thing I thought when I heard this story, before I knew anything about the parents, I was like, oh my gosh, it's a very rural area. She probably wandered off. I didn't cross my mind to kidnap her or anything. Of course, then we get to know the parents and we're like, well, something more going on. But like I said, we hear that. That's one of his very first interviews where he's adamant she wouldn't just wander off. She wouldn't, of course she wouldn't run away. She's only 5, even though they claimed she was 4. So that really bothers me. When Jose was talking about how many times she ran off, What are your thoughts on that, Deb?
Um, yeah, that bothers me too. But I mean, like you said, I don't know why they wouldn't have said something like that to the police. Like, she wanders off, and we don't know what happened. Maybe she was abducted. I mean, more transparent. But no, she never goes further than her swing. That was Candace's and Dawn's story from the beginning, and clearly not true, according to Jose.
Clearly not true. And did anyone ever think it was true? I mean, like Don's like, we talk to our kids about this stuff all the time, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you did and an abductor grabbed her, she would know to yell fire.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And as well, I mean, Jose said, he was running after. Where are you going? Where are you going? Thank God he was there. I mean, I think it was a blessing for 6 months and pour all those kids' lives.
Well, I think the whole thing is disgusting and sad. All right. He also,
Can I say something about that?
yes.
When I first heard Dawn describe that and Candace saying Summer would never leave the house, I believed them. I had no reason not to believe them. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, looks like there's probably a lot of snakes. And I didn't think, I thought maybe Summer was the type that, yes, stayed close to the home. And, until Jose said that, I was sort of like, holy shit. So she was a wanderer.
Yep.
I did believe Candace and Dawn. Just because I had no reason not to.
Well, I mean, it's their child, and if they're telling us this is her behavior, she was scared to leave the yard or whatever. It's kind of like, oh, okay. So they're like, so she had to have been abducted. Now, like I said, over time we got to know those two, and it's like, something else is going on here. And I'm looking at this comment from Kenny: Mom, Dad, Grand fighting. She probably hid a lot. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking when stuff was erupting in the house, she would go hide.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. And the other thing is that, I mean, she was a very active little girl, like you said, energetic. And she would run after, those motorcycles. I mean, Dawn said that. Dawn said as much. So I think Candus did too. So they clearly, she was very active, and if they were like 3 sheets to the wind most of the time, they didn't have an eye on her.
No, they weren't helicopter parents. Like, no way. Like, well, who does that? Who walks your child from the trailer to the house? Like,
well, not the one on the screen.
Yeah, like people, you don't do that. If it's your home and it's your land, and the dogs will freak out, you don't walk your kid 30 feet. It's just not going to happen. And with them throwing that in, it's like, wow, they're really, making a story up here to make themselves look better so CPS doesn't take their kids. And I think that's why they did all of those untruths and said them all.
Mm-hmm. I think so
but
too.
They don't realize that helicopter parents wouldn't even walk the kid 30 feet on your own property way up on the hill.
Not
that's
your own home. That's your space. That's the safest place for your children, yourself. That is your sanctuary. That's your home. You wouldn't think that you have to make sure your child gets across the driveway to the door. Especially her. She left her in the truck for an hour, according to Hunter, while she went to the grocery store. Out in the parking lot where somebody could kidnap her if Hunter wasn't paying attention. But she has to walk her from the camper to the door. Come on. And she left 3 children home alone that day. So that has never held any water. Ever.
Yeah. No, and he said, to go back, to hit back on the hide and seek thing. I think she played that a lot. I don't know if I'm going ahead here, Brooks, but he said her favorite place to hide was in that fridge.
Yeah.
I had to
I think
rethink
that
my
got all
thoughts
of us.
I didn't want to come out with what I was really thinking, but yeah, that fridge, yeah, and it's like How? Why didn't they take the door off? Do they not know that a child can smother in that? You know, like, I don't get it.
And that's always really bothered me. You know, it's a hot day, it's air conditioned inside the grocery store. Why leave them out there alone? Even if you're just in there to get milk and cheese or whatever it was you said. That's ridiculous. That is
Well,
ridiculous.
well, why wouldn't they have said, "Come on in, Hunter and Summer. You guys just sit in the front, and Hunter watch Summer, and we're gonna grab a few things. At least they'd be in air conditioning."
Hmm. I don't know. Well, one thing that people aren't really discussing, and it really stood out to me, Jose said something about Don has been seen in a red truck with a ladder rack. Did you
Mm-hmm.
all catch that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think maybe he was the one driving the red truck that day?
It sounds more like it. It's like anything they said, we have to throw out the window. So then let's go back to maybe other people.
Mhm.
And if there really was a red truck with a ladder rack, well, but I'm sure the police would have found that out right away. I'm sure Don's employer would have said he drives around in this truck the odd time. So they, I think, already have that information.
And here they are trying to put it all together because, well, I mean, look at what we've been hearing. I mean, we thought what Grandis said a couple of weeks ago was jaw dropping, and now we hear all of this from Jose.
Yeah.
Clark picked up on it too. She said, "Yep, red truck was a bomb."
Yeah.
It definitely was. I don't know. It was a truck from his work that he used to use when he went long distances. What Jose said, and yeah, I don't know what they did with it. I don't know if it was still in the area or what, because I'm sure the police wouldn't have noticed it.
Well, somebody noticed it, and that's the reason that they've been saying that they want to talk to whoever's driving it. Makes more sense to me that in 9 months, the person that was on that road driving a red truck with ladders has not come forward if it was Don. You think Don's going to say, "Oh, I was in that truck"? No.
No, no, no. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No, because he's sticking to the story that he was at work all day.
Uh-huh. And he's got 7 alibis.
So,
Wonder if that
yeah,
red truck has GPS.
I don't think so.
You know what the thing is, though? He totally, like, the way Jose made it look. It's Dawn. I mean, Dawn is more guilty than we thought he was. I mean, we all said, he's a piece of crap, but we didn't think that he did anything that day. Well, I don't know now.
You don't ever discount anything in this case. This is the most convoluted cast of characters I've ever seen. It's like nothing, well, everything surprises you, but really at the end of the day, nothing. It's not going to surprise you if they're like, it was all Candus. Nope, it was all Don, but Candus was in on it. Nope, it was just all Don. Oh, it was Grandis. We're all just going to be like, whoa, either way. JD, Don says he was going to throw a beer bottle at Jose, but Jose said he did throw it because these are violent people. Don and Candus are violent people. They're violent with their children. They're violent to their friends. I mean, Allie had to call the police just to go up there and get her children.
Mm-hmm.
They are violent people. They are violent, abusive people.
Yeah.
The red truck really got me that he said he has seen him driving that truck before. And here we go. Ray. Yep. Was it Robin marking out the red truck from the missing posters? She sure was. When she was talking to McDonough, she even mimicked how she did it. Like she's holding a marker. She's like, that red truck doesn't matter. It matters to the FBI, the TBI, and Hawkins County. But the Sabbath school teacher said it doesn't matter. I thought she had a lot of balls to even say that. She puts her hand up in the air and she makes like she's doing an X. So when I get one of those posters, I just X it out. It doesn't matter. Why? Thank you, Lone Wolf Spirit. And you're right. I remain neutral because everyone is still a suspect. Nobody has been cleared. Nobody. But you're right. Everyone failed Summer and her brothers. They did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, except Jose. He didn't seem to let her down. He was, thank God he was there. I mean, that's all I can say. She must have loved him so much.
And he cooked for them.
Right.
I thought that was the sweetest thing. He cooked for them, and the kids in the house were watching him cook and asking him questions. That's probably the more normalcy thing that happened through this whole story, that someone went in there and cooked for the kids.
And they haven't had a home cooked meal since then, I guarantee. I guarantee.
Mm-mm. Like he said, the things she was giving them for dinner, chips, candy, whatever, it wasn't a meal. So he said Ali was buying them groceries.
He
Yeah.
said she spent a lot of money and brought groceries over. It's not, I mean, like Leslie was complaining about it. She's like, I told this one, she points at Allie, she kept spending her money, taking food over to the kids. I hate to say it, I would do the same thing. Okay. I really would.
So would I.
Even if they're spending all their money on alcohol and drugs, that shouldn't affect the kids. I'd make sure there was real food there for the kids. I thought that was really nice that she did that. And when Jose said she spent a lot of money and she made sure there was real food in the house.
Yeah.
Candus didn't care. Look what Candus has done. Candus does not care. Her and Dawn are not loyal, appreciative to anyone. They think everything is due to them. Look how she's acting now.
I didn't see her last night, thank God. I was, had other things on the go, but I don't usually watch her. Only if you guys start saying something, then I might go watch it. But I don't. I can't.
I just can't. I just can't. She's sitting there talking about, trying to get her boys back. I think there was a show where you weren't allowed to mention Summer at all, I heard about. I hope that was a rumor and didn't really happen. And she's just making a damn fool out of herself. And she's got people in there, women with children. Oh, I know you can get them back. You go, mama. And I'm like, you people are crazy. Especially after this with Jose. You wish that on those boys?
Exactly.
Go back to that environment? What have those boys ever done to you?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, 2 Boston moms. I was just getting ready to talk about that. Let me put up a trigger warning. It's not the first time you're going to see this today. There you go. Trigger warning. So if you are going to be triggered by this about Candus and Hunter, you got to take care of yourself. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Love having you all here, but I don't want anybody upset by the content.
Absolutely.
Of course, we've been talking about it. Jose did confirm that there was a very inappropriate and illegal relationship between Candus and Hunter. I agree with 2 Boston moms. Candus needs to be in jail. Allie needs to put her there. I can only think of this. Allie was caring enough to make sure that family had real food in the house, spent her own hard-earned money to make sure they had food. What is Candus intimidating her with that she doesn't turn her in? That's the only thing I can think of. You guys help me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I would think that maybe Allie didn't truly believe it. You know how you always have that thing in the back of your mind where you think, oh, well, maybe they just kissed or something, or like I'm sure being a mother, that's what I would want to believe. So sometimes you don't always believe, what someone tells you.
Yeah. And even though it's like right in front of your face, you just can't accept it. I mean, I'm just trying to look at it from both sides. I mean, it's all out now. She's really going to have to do something now. She's really going to have to. They're going to have to go and talk to him and ask him to verify this story. I just don't think that Jose would just make that up. It's just too sick. It is too
I
sick.
don't think. I don't think he made it up.
No, I don't either.
No.
No, I don't either.
There was there was too much detail for him to be making it up. I don't know. Maybe Ali, like Pat said, you don't want to believe it. But even a kiss would be totally inappropriate. I'd be like, what? But
Oh yeah, and I was going to say something. That's not what Pat meant at all. She's just saying, she's just trying to, like, she doesn't want to accept it, doesn't want to
Yeah.
believe it. But now it's everywhere. She's going to have to do something one way or another. She's just going to have to. I mean, I know Andrew's in here somewhere. Andrew, I don't know if you can tell us. If you can't, I understand. But everybody's really hoping something's done about this. She should not be jumping on YouTube every night, putting whiskey in her Mountain Dew can. She should be in jail. This is definitely a crime. Definitely a crime.
Like people down in the Tennessee and that, they don't accept this, do they?
God, no.
Like,
I can't think of any society that accepts it.
no.
And we have a lot of locals in here, and I've talked to a lot of them over the months, and they're just like, I mean, hell, the women there, if they knew that this was true, they'd whip the crap out of Candus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe she didn't know and she just found out. Now she knows. So something's got to be done. I mean, will Hunter tell the truth? Who knows?
Can you imagine how humiliated he is? That's a big problem when a child is abused, SA, by an adult. The shame and the humiliation keeps it a secret. They don't want to go to court. They don't want to have to talk to a judge. They don't want to have to talk to a DA. They would rather pretend like it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll be
Yeah,
right
I
back.
believe that one. I think that, Brooke. Okay, Deb. I see you.
And like Annie said, they aren't even from Tennessee. Candus is from Wisconsin. Dawn is from Utah. If I was in Tennessee, I would be like, look, guys, quit grouping them in with us. They're not from here. They can't sit with us. Okay?
Yeah, I've been to Tennessee. It was a beautiful state. So I'm from Canada, so I did travel down there. It was a very beautiful state. I've got nothing against Tennessee. I'm sure the people in Tennessee wish they would move back to their respective states.
Or the state of Tennessee can house them forever, right there, because that's what it's coming down to.
And I wonder if Ali would be hesitant to bring charges against them because that would involve Hunter and mean a lot of exposure to Hunter, and maybe she realizes that he's really been affected by this. It's in her face. I'm sure Hunter, he's a strong kid. I noticed that in the interview. He's very smart, street smart, very quick, very observant. But this has got to be affecting him big time, being out in the open like that, in everybody's faces.
Of course. And something obviously went very wrong. He reacted, obviously, because when he was talking to Chris McDonough, he mentioned having a parole officer. Hunter is a minor, and he should never have been taken advantage of. I'm putting that lightly, guys, because I don't want to trigger anybody, okay? I know that's a very light way of putting it. I don't want to say what I really want to say. I can't say what I really want to say. This woman is a monster. Now, Susan says, okay, first of all, we have a lot of people in here from Wisconsin saying they don't want Candus back. Okay, so Candus, just get ready to go to jail in Tennessee. Susan said Ali has pressed charges. Okay, well, if she's pressed charges, all they have to do is get the real story from him, get the whole story, And let's see. She needs to be in jail. That is so disgusting. And that's such a terrible thing to do to that boy. Terrible.
Yeah. A 14-year-old, like they're so impressionable.
Yeah, they are.
You know, I'm sure he thought it might have been cool to have this older person or woman paying him attention. I could see that happening with a younger teen.
Oh yeah, he would like that for sure. I mean, you know, they talk about it. Oops.
Yeah, it is sick. It makes me sick.
She's a monster. She's sick. She's disgusting. She has a son not much younger than him. She has 2 children older than him. She's a mother. What in the hell is she thinking? She's disgusting. Her and Dawn are a marriage made in hell. A marriage made in hell. All right, I put the trigger warning up again. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, just a warning. If you are an animal lover, particularly cats, this is not going to bode well with you, okay? It's not.
Yeah.
Swear, I'm going to put my cat in the other room. I don't want her to hear this.
I'm back.
All right, walk us through it. Walk us through it, Deb. You did very well yesterday. It's hard for me to say, so go ahead.
Really? Okay. Well, Jose said that while Dawn was away in Utah, Summer had found a kitten, and she loved this kitten. She would carry it around everywhere.
Now, hang on. Hunter gave her the kitten, from what I remember.
Okay.
Is that true?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, there's a lot of information. Just if we get something wrong, guys, don't crucify us because there's a lot.
Yeah, I could be. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of information. But I mean, anyway, so she carried this little kitten around all the time. She always, if she was watching TV, it was on her lap. I mean, she just adored this kitten. And so when Don got back from Utah, he said, well, I don't want any cats in the house, I told you. And he didn't say that nicely, but anyways. I don't want any cats in the house, I told you. And so he grabbed the kitten, threw it outside, and Summer looked and watched the dogs tear and shred that kitten to death.
Uh-huh. That is how disgusting he is. She loved that little kitten, that little gray kitten. Jose said she carried it everywhere, treated it like it was almost like a little baby.
Yep.
Okay, Hunter gave her the kitten. Okay, I just want to clear that up. Remember,
Okay,
there's
thanks.
a lot going on, a lot of new information. It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
Dawn takes this little precious kitten, throws it out to dogs that probably had not been fed all day, if you want to know the truth. And look what they did. Those dogs tore that cat up. Little Summer was so upset that happened.
Well,
And that's just go ahead.
No, girlfriend, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that's a form of control. That's total control. You know, you hear horrible stories about things like that happening. The parents will rip up the kid's favorite book or throw it away or whatever. He does it with a live animal. Like how worse could that situation have been? None.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. It's disgusting. I used to work for the Humane Society like many, many, many years ago. And that triggered it for me. I thought, oh my God, not another one.
Well, look, I mean, her cat has been, in and out of the vet for a couple of days. She has to hear this story. Lip lock no more. She's a cat rescuer. That's the reason she's like, I got to get out of here on this one. She's like, I can't hear this. It's barbaric. It's disgusting. Who's worse, Dawn or Candus? Who is worse? That's what I want to know. S said, am I blocked? No, you're not, girlfriend. I see you.
who is worse? Dawn is a piece of crap. Sorry, I had to think that one out first.
You know what? I'm on the fence. I don't know who's worse.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know, like the horrible things Dawn's doing or does or has done that we, people have said. And then the way Candus acts towards your own kids, I've got to say Candus is worse. You can't do that to something that you carried for 9 months. Like, this is a child.
And I hate to bring the boys into it because I think that they saw all this stuff. I'm just kind of wondering how that would work if the authorities could go talk to the boys, ask them about the cat, if this happened, and if they saw anything between Candus and Hunter. I understand Hunter not wanting to admit it. I understand Hunter wanting to run from it. Trust me, I do.
But how scared do you think the kids are of them?
Good point. They saw
Totally.
the cat torn up.
Yeah.
Their sister is missing. Imagine how they were treated after Summer went missing. Don't think they banded together as a family and said, oh my gosh, now we have to do everything we can to keep the boys safe. Who knows how they treated the boys? Well, we know the boys were removed.
Mm-hmm.
Removed.
Finally.
I'm still pissed it took that long. Crime and justice. I helped my parents at their cat rescue. I hate animal abusers. Animal abusers, child abusers. What do they not abuse? What do they not abuse? How disgusting is that? Look at all these murderers. Okay, sorry guys, I'm making a big leap here. You can smack my hand later. We have heard about over the years that were animal abusers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good point. Yeah. Good point. And that's how they start off, by abusing animals, and then they go up to people.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump ahead. I don't know if I am, Brooks. You let me know. But he also said that Dawn was having sex with some other girl downstairs.
Yeah.
In the house.
Sodom and Gomorrah. With the kids there.
Like, what's all that about? When he said that, it's like, oh my God, what next?
Like, how could Candus even allow that? I mean, between the three of us, I know none of us would even put up with that. It's like, no, you're going to take that bitch out. Excuse my language. Get the bitch out of my house. Like, this is my house.
Yeah,
no.
I see you. She said Don burned down a barn with animals in it when he was little.
There you go. That's the beginning. That's the big red flag.
Don could have done all of this by himself. I'm telling you. He could have done all of this by himself. I don't see how Candus wouldn't notice. And I don't know why Grandis would love to pin all this on him and be done with it. I don't know why when she gave her interview to WJHL, she didn't mention, and we pulled up and, Dawn was home. But then she went and took her nap. So I did not know about this lip lock. She said, what do you think about the school bus having been moved? What did you guys hear that? I don't know anything about that. Like I said, there's a lot in that interview I missed.
The only thing I heard about the school bus is Grandis drove it from Wisconsin with all her furniture in it to Tennessee to go help out Candus when Dawn left.
Yeah, I heard that as well. And she could have. I think her belongings were probably stored in the school bus. Whether she drove it from Wisconsin, who knows? But that's maybe where she kept all her furniture and everything. That's sort of what it seems like.
Okay.
Maybe it was roadworthy. Who knows?
Hang on. I almost missed a comment. Okay, Jose said the old blue truck, bus, and camper have been moved since he was there. Okay. Cheyenne said she did drive the bus. Okay. Well, I don't know, Liplock, what do you think? What does the bus have to do with it? Because I'm very confused. I mean,
the school bus was Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just looking at comments.
The school bus was there in Chris McDonough's video
Mm-hmm.
when he panned the yard. And it's possible that she could have driven it and then just parked it, left all her stuff in it, and, and like what they did with all the other vehicles. If they're not driving it, they just park it.
Well, they got a lot of junk vehicles on there. They've got tools and stuff laying around. It's a wonder that one of the kids wasn't fatally hurt before this. Honestly.
Not only outside, too, in the inside. He said there was nails sticking out of the plywood. There was nails sticking out of the stairs going down. Can you imagine?
No.
I mean, you could trip on that and go down the stairs real quick.
Hang on, girls. I'll be right back. I got to go blow my nose. These
problem.
allergies are killing me. You girls have the floor. I'll be right back.
We're up, Pat.
Okay, we could really create some trouble here. What do you want to do?
No, I won't do that.
I know.
I'm not getting involved in that.
So you felt Jose was pretty sincere in what he was saying?
Yeah, I do. I do. I really feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, so did I.
I think someone said that he didn't know. ICU said he didn't know Don was in jail, but I just find it strange the timing that he came out after Don has been in jail. I think he was afraid.
I didn't get that he was afraid. I sort of think, he was into a lot of bad stuff and he went away to recover.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Justin did say on Justice for All that he had not seen any of the Candus videos until he hadn't seen them until the night that he spoke with them. And then he was sort of getting caught up on it. Right. So maybe he was off the grid. I mean, I can do that. I can put my phone in another room and that's it. Some people aren't on YouTube or Facebook every day.
No.
So it's very possible.
Agreed. And I know some people don't understand that concept, but there are a lot of people, me being one, that disconnect. They're just like, no, not even going to look at that right now. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah. I mean, if somebody needs to get a hold of me, they know how. S said, I don't think he's afraid. I think he was truly off grid. I think so too. I think he saw a lot of stuff when he was at that house that freaked him out, not to mention a life-changing event like a divorce and stuff like that. I would go underground off grid too, because I wouldn't want to hear from those imbeciles. I would make myself so hidden after having to witness what he witnessed at that house.
I agree.
He did say that Sorry, Pat, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I agree. I think once he left there and, even the day after he left there, then you start to see the normal life again, people being normal. And I wouldn't doubt it if he hid. Just because he didn't want to deal with them.
He did say that it triggered his PTSD from his childhood.
Yes. And I believed him when he said he confronted Dawn about Summer being in the shower with him, because you could see those were trigger points that bothered him.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think he was afraid of Dawn. I don't. I think, it's amazing, really, all of us in the past 3 weeks, what has come out? So much stuff has come out. It's like, oh my God, we've got to go back to square one again, because now I'm questioning everything everybody said.
God, you're so right. That's what I've been saying. We got to go back to square one, because square one now makes even less sense than it did when we were first at square one. For one,
exactly.
When Candus is talking about how this was like an ER situation, they decided that morning to go to the ER. This wasn't a planned trip. And I'm like, so the Subaru doesn't matter.
Yes.
ICU. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, ICU, because you guys did amazing work. Tinky Tink. We have to start over. Yep. And you know the girl that's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
I think
replay
that's
queen.
a great idea to start over now that we've heard all of Jose's memories on what he felt the house was like and what went on a daily basis. This was normal to them.
Mm-hmm.
Not normal to Jose, but normal to the Wells family. And now we see all of that. Now let's go back to the beginning and see those first couple interviews and sort of, like, you can tell right off the bat, like, Summer never left the swing. Well, we know that's a load of shit. Sorry.
We know it's a load of shit. No, you're right, because we listened to that interview yesterday with Don, and he's got his oldest son there with him with his head hanging down. I've always been so uncomfortable with that. And he's driving it home. He's driving it home. She would never wander off. She would never. Candus said she would never go beyond the swing. Then she has Hunter mimic the same thing. Hunter knows she has wandered off because he did slip later and say she gets drunk and high in the yard and loses the kids. It can't be both ways. This kid has been manipulated by this woman so badly. It's just disgusting. All right, Danny. What's up, Danny? He came across as the most honest player in this entire soap opera. I truly hope people don't drag him. They already are. You know that's going to happen. Internet 101. That's a big reason why people don't say anything. They say nothing. They don't want this to happen to them. He's already judging himself so harshly. And I'm actually kind of worried about him. If you want to know the truth, I'm actually kind of worried about him. If he's already been triggered, his PTSD, and he knows what's going on around. I mean, if he's keeping up with it, I don't know.
Well, once he keeps up, and once he goes back and hears all the lives and all of that, it'll take him like a week. He's going to feel even worse. But I would hope and assume that he still is in some sort of counseling.
He definitely needs it. I don't know anything about his childhood or what he had going on growing up or his divorce, any of that stuff. But just what he witnessed, and I'm going to get to this in a second, in the time he was there would be enough for anyone to have to seek professional help. And I'm not saying that in a bad way to him. I am not throwing any shade at him. I'm just saying just what I've heard scared the hell out of me, triggered me. I've had to put the trigger warning up 3 times just talking about it. We haven't even streamed any of it. Okay, so I was under the impression that Jose was just there for like a weekend or so. Were any of you shocked when he mentioned how long he actually lived there and that he was actually renting a room?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Because of how Candus acted at the swimming hole. I think she said, she sort of looked like, oh, who? Now we realize, like, 5 months to live there before Donnie came home. That's a lot. That's 24/7. You know, that was, so why was she keeping him out of it? She didn't want his name brought in at all. Now we see.
At all.
Well, now we know why.
I would love to know. Because just like Pat said, when she was talking to Chris McDonough, he didn't stutter. He said the name, and she looked at him, and she just makes it all about this, tawdry relationship that Allie had with him. Said something about chicks with dicks and all that. And even him and Steve in their analysis, they put their hands up and they were like, what did that have to do with anything? It's like, you're asking her about Jose. Why did she not mention to him he rented a room from us and lived with us for 5-6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine his face when he walked in there? Poor guy.
Can you imagine McDonough's face when he heard about Jose's interview? He had her right there at the pond acting like she barely knew the guy. And it comes out he rented a room from them, was cooking for the kids, knows that Summer has wandered off many times. He's talked to the FBI. I bet Candus didn't like hearing that. Hence why we were pouring the R&R in our Mountain Dew can last night.
She needs to commit herself. Just go commit yourself, get dried out.
Mhm.
You know, you hate to see somebody, doing that to themselves.
Yeah, but first she has to call 800 TBI fine because it could
Oh,
end today,
definitely.
Candace. Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe that's what's going to happen. I keep waking up every morning hoping something happened.
Oh,
And
me too.
maybe with Jose coming out and saying all of this, maybe she will. I don't think Grandis will. I think she said what she wanted to say, but I think it was very good of Ronnie Lawson to needle her that way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Grandis in her interview with WJHL, and I've listened to it. I'm embarrassed to tell you how many times. Like I said yesterday, she gets to the end of it, and that's the last time I saw her. She has nothing else to add. She buttons
Right.
it up. I'm out of it. Last time I saw her, leave me alone. So no, she's not cooperating. She saw much, 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 much more stuff that day, and what led up to. Jose saw all these things. You can't tell me Grandis didn't. So the doting grandmother who said, "Oh, not again," and I was afraid the boys were going to get abducted, saw all of this horrid abuse and living conditions. And I really want Chris McDonough to talk to Jose too. I've heard that's in the works, but who knows? Let's hope.
Hey, sorry about that.
You're good, my friend. Sergeant Friday, I agree. Grandis was seething in that interview. You know who's seething now? Grandis and Candus. Because
Mm-hmm.
Jose is telling what really goes on at the Hill. What's really going on up there. Don't think they are not furious. Candace is spitting nails. She did everything she could with McDonough to ignore the entire Jose question, to make him not relevant to the situation, and now here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she was like last night for the little 5 minutes that I watched. She was saying that nothing he said was true, and it's like, well, it doesn't work that way. You can't just say nothing is true. Prove that nothing was true.
Well, he sort of described everything that we saw. We visually saw all of that from Chris's interview, like the conditions of the house, and he just filled in the little gaps and confirmed, I guess.
Confirmed is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these holes that we've been talking about since Summer went missing, all of these things that don't make sense, he filled in a lot. Now, granted, it's still not everything. It's not even close to everything, because a lot went down between when he left in October and she went missing in June. That was a ticking time bomb in that house.
Oh, you know what? Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead, babe.
I was going to say, I would like to ask him if the pictures that were out of Summer when she looked so unhealthy and the black eye and the hair like that, was she like that when he was there?
He did not mention that.
No, he didn't.
He did say they all had lace.
Oh,
Yeah, and that he cut the boy's hair, and he believed that Summer's head was shaved because of the lice, even though he told her, "Go get this and that. I'll take them out. I know how to deal with this." Apparently, yeah, she just decided, this was easier, whatever. But yeah.
I wonder if that happened when Donnie was home, because that's something a control freak would say, no, we're not doing the mayonnaise and all that home remedies, just shave her head.
I think he was at work and she did it. I really think it was like a punishment type of thing, because even if you shave the head, there's still lice there. They don't need a long mane of hair. Boys with short hair get lice. Girls with long hair get lice.
Mm-hmm.
This was something else.
Girls with clean hair get lace. I mean, yeah, for sure. And You don't. There's ways of getting rid of them. I mean, and it's not shaving the head. You know, you can get. There's many ways. You don't have to. It doesn't have to cost you a bundle. But anyways,
Well,
yeah.
they're not going to spend anything for health and wellness on their children. Jose did say that she takes the kids to the doctors and all that stuff. Okay, so that's, I mean, the bare minimum. Microwave pizzas in medical care. Didn't get medical care June 15th, though, but we made sure Grandis got a shot in her knee. ICU said she is working on getting Jose to talk to Chris McDonough. That is music to my ears, girlfriend. Thank you. Thank you, ICU. You guys are doing amazing work. If there's something you want to share, ICU, you can absolutely do it. If you want to grab the link and come up and talk to me and my gal pals, you can. Yep, I really hope Chris McDonough talks to him. But I mean, geez, what else can we hear? I mean, the stuff that he was opening up about to Justin and ICU, I don't know if I can take much more ICU. Give my heart a break. I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what? One other thing I thought was very interesting was when Jose was saying how it really wrecked Candus when they talked about Rose. And then now flash forward to Summer and Dawn's relationship, the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was so racked up about her sister, even though her sister is now, you know, we assume passed away.
Yeah, she's not in a good place.
I can see the jealousy of the relationship Dawn had with Summer, because as Jose said, Dawn would come in and Summer would run up to him and, you know, jump in his arms, and he would say, "Where's my baby?" And I could see Candus being jealous of that.
I think Candus is a very, very jealous woman. I think she was jealous of Robin. She looked jealous on BK's show the other night when he called another woman beautiful. Like her whole face fell. Like, what? You did what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's a very, very jealous woman. And it still makes me sick that Dawn is trying to paint this Little House on the Prairie picture, which nobody ever bought. Okay?
Mm-mm.
Nobody ever bought that nonsense.
No.
And then we hear from Jose something worse than we could even imagine.
Yeah. He confirmed our worst fears.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was the hardest interview I had to get through. It took me a long time. I told you yesterday, Brooks, it took me all afternoon to get through it. Just stop it and say, he said, "What did he just say?" And rewind it.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. I was like, what? Now what? Yep, ICU's a good friend here. You can put in whatever you want, my friend. Mi casa, su casa, ICU. Oh, and yes, I agree about the cat. That was
horrific.
That was horrific. It's a thought I couldn't get out of my mind, just picturing it. Especially when they talk about how often they feed the dogs. I mean, you know, they don't take care of their kids. They don't take care of their animals. They don't take care of their house. They don't take care of each other. Then to do that in front of Summer. Ugh.
Can you imagine the nightmares and that poor little girl had? Summer?
And also Jose said that Summer didn't have a filter and she would talk about anything.
So if she went to school,
yeah,
her mouth would be flapping because she doesn't have a filter. Yeah.
There you go. Could you imagine? But see, then they took her to church. It's a wonder she didn't go to church and say something that like her kitty's in heaven or something like that and tell what happened. Julie, I'm with you, girl. I cried about the kitten. I cried about the kitten. I cried about Hunter, thinking about him being a young boy. He's already got some problems going on. And what Candus did.
Yeah, because they're both so messed up. Like if either of them was a little bit normal, and I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's the way I'm seeing it. If I was the wife and I knew my husband was acting this way, abusive, let's put Candus aside just for a second. I would be if it and I was Candace, I would pack everything up while he was going to work and take the kids and go.
Me too. But see, Candus doesn't think that way, and it's not because of battered women's syndrome, because she's an abuser herself. Okay, I forgot about this. Like I said, guys, there's a lot going on in this interview. I don't know how Justin and ICU did it, but they did a great job. Jose said they didn't go to church. Now, that could have been just when he was there and they started going later. I don't know. Tara, she said, ICU is my friend. I'm a mod for Justin. I saw you on there. And you're our friend, and so is ICU.
Mm-hmm. ICU's near a lot.
Yep. And like two Boston moms, I'm not going to put the comment up, but Candus has said she killed Rose. Now, I don't know if she thinks she's being cute because she's drunk, but you know, two people can't orchestrate the same story. Him and Allie don't stay in touch, if you know what I mean. But they each say that Candus said that, and they each talk about the couch being in front of the door. That's nothing for them to orchestrate. I have a feeling they don't want to be involved in this at all. At all.
Who can blame them?
Oh. It's disturbing. Every bit of it is disturbing.
I don't doubt
bit of it.
Sorry, I don't doubt Candus said that in one of her drunken stupors, whether it was true or not about her sister. Who knows? I'm just sitting here shaking my head still.
I am too. But we've been shaking. It's a wonder we all don't have whiplash. We've been shaking our head for 9 months. Jenna Sweet Tea, what's up, girlfriend? She says, those dogs wouldn't have done that if they weren't starving. Exactly. They would not have done that.
They probably thought Dawn was throwing them food, because that's how they fed them. They opened the door and threw food out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not necessarily they would have, and I agree, if they were starving, once dogs in a pack get like that, it turns into like a frenzy.
Because they want to eat.
Yeah.
Their animal instincts. They have to get food. He knows that he probably knew the dogs hadn't been fed because he knows how things go around the house. Threw that little kitten out to them. Oh, breaks little Summer's heart.
Well, I hope that story goes around the jailhouse right now about what he did to the kitten. I'm sure some people in there wouldn't appreciate it.
And imagine if Candus gets arrested for what she did to Hunter. Women in jail do not take kindly to women that abuse children. We hear about it on the men's side. I've heard it's really bad on the women's side too.
Yeah, well, she brought it on herself.
And took this poor kid with her, ruined the lives of her 2 older children, the 3 boys, which now have a second chance. God, I pray they're doing well. And of course, Summer.
Yeah.
I apologize. I just saw a comment that says, please quit talking about the kitten. I apologize. We're not going to talk about the kitten anymore.
No. Fine with me.
That is just way too much information. I don't know. I mean, obviously that was a big trigger. What Candus did to Hunter, big trigger. And then we have all this other stuff in there. The couch. Dawn has been seen in a red truck with a ladder rack. There's a ton.
The refrigerator.
The refrigerator. And Dawn made sure to point that damn refrigerator out on WVLT.
Yeah, he banged the heck out of it.
Now, someone in chat had said at one point I read the refrigerator didn't have doors that shut. But I thought he opened a door.
I saw him open and close a door.
That's what I...
Okay. And he was banging it with a stick. We're going to go back through that interview again this week, guys. I know. Because he said, I don't know what she was doing. Right. I've still been on the fence. Who's she? Summer or Candus?
Summer, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's just what I think. She would hide in there. And if he knows she hid in there, get rid of it.
Why the hell do you have an old fridge in your yard anyway?
It's not a hiding place, for God's sakes.
It's like Sanford and Son.
God, worse than that. Worse than that. At least Sanford and Son is funny. These people are horrible.
And the steak in the shed. I don't doubt there was a copperhead in the shed.
I don't doubt it. No.
You know, and yeah, sorry.
That may be why she didn't want Sam to go in there. Chris.
Oh, possible. Because the Humane Society or whoever they called, which I don't doubt they would have called them.
Animal control. Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably would have given them ideas on how to get rid of the snake.
Or they would come get it. Or, you know, I mean, living in the country that long, you know, you can kill a snake.
Yeah.
Don has weapons up there. He can kill a snake. So then we go back to Candus. I don't go nowhere around here, you know, because of bears and snakes. But she tells 911 is told by Don, and I'm assuming Candus too, that she was taking a walk or a run. Now, some people are like, no, she ran to town. That's just her making an errand. But we heard two different versions, a walk and a run. Well, why would you go walking around bears and snakes? And it's confirmed by Jose there was a poisonous snake on their property.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Jose also said that those dogs were vicious. When he first got there, he said, I thought they were going to rip me up until Candus had to tell him to stop or to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, think about that for a second. And the abduction theory, I mean, there's no way.
Not the first one to say that those dogs would set off an alarm. Definitely. He's not the first one to say it. The only ones that say that the dogs aren't a big deal are Don and Candus.
Well, they were there that day. They went on a field trip.
Yeah.
Doggy vacation. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane. Teresa at Brooks. Jose was not scripted like the rest of them. He's very credible. I'm not getting any vibes yet that he is making this up or not credible. He has no reason to put his name out there. He has no reason to get involved. He's filling this in. He's doing the right thing, letting everyone know that don't buy this bullshit. These people are monsters. There's
no other word for them. They both deserve to rot in jail.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's exactly what I think. It's you know what? We don't want you in our society. That's what it comes down to me. We don't want you in our society talking to people, you know, it's just, I'm speechless.
I'm speechless too. I said that a couple times on the show yesterday. There's too many people in this story walking around in society that need to be in jail. Candus, you are definitely one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Candus, I'm on the fence about you, girlfriend.
I don't know about Ali, but there's a little something going on there. I don't know what. I haven't made my mind yet.
Well, I just really hope that she's communicating with the police and getting help for Hunter. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah, I hope so as well.
But will he tell the truth? You know?
A lot of people do not tell the truth as children, and it comes out later when they're adults. Unfortunately, there's a statute, and it's too late for prosecution. I hope it's not like that in this case. I hope it's not.
Yeah, see, and here in Canada and Ontario, I know even if the police learn of a relationship like supposedly that happened, they press charges. They don't, the victim doesn't have to press charges. The police step in and do it for the Crown.
That's what they do here too. That's why I'm wondering, with this floating around for so long and said out loud it actually happened, they got to get moving on this.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they're building up all these charges and they'll do like what they've done with other perpetrators before, is they build up all the charges, then they'll arrest her, and they've got 5 or 6 charges against her, and then just keep her in jail until someone cracks.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
There's some method to the madness, and it's going to blow my mind when it all comes out. I can tell you that. It's going to blow my mind.
I feel like it's going to come out real soon.
I know. I feel bad because I've been saying that to you guys for like 9 months now. I think it's going to come out soon. It's going to come out soon. It's going to come out soon. If this with Jose, I really thought Candus, I thought that was really going to get the ball rolling, and maybe it did behind the scenes. Don't know. They don't tell me anything, if you know what I mean. I think this with Jose is really going to heighten their awareness, and they're going to start making some real dumb moves. And I really hope that there is, I know there's going to be a grand jury, but I hope it involves them. I hope there's a grand jury that is going to hear everything that TBI, Hawkins County, and FBI have next month. It can't get here fast enough.
Yeah, I agree.
And they are holding, sorry.
No, go ahead, babe.
They are holding a lot back. I don't know, I don't want to switch subjects, but if anybody listened to the Delphi transcripts that came out, it's like, oh my God, none of us knew half of what the police knew.
Oh, never do. You know, I always tell everybody in these cases, I'm like, okay, we don't need to get upset. It's already an upsetting subject. Keep an open mind, because I'm telling you, when it comes out, you're like, oh, Lord. You might have the person pegged, but what really went on, you could never even imagine. The Gannon Staunch case taught me a ton. Megan Boswell, I still haven't heard everything. But when I read that arrest affidavit of Letitia Staunch's, the Vallow case too, when I read that arrest affidavit, we couldn't even comprehend it.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is. It's beyond our comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess at the end of Jose's interview, I remember sort of like sitting here thinking, oh my God, so it's all true. And then he's just provided the details that confirmed it all of what we were hoping wasn't really going on.
Okay, hang on. Tracy, no, you're right, Pat. Tracy said in Tennessee, the state picks up the charges as well. Yeah, they do that here too. So I'm really hoping that the ball gets rolling on this, because very upset about what happened to that young man. Very upset what happened to him. Very upset about the cat, very upset about the dogs, very upset about Summer, very upset about the boys. I don't know where to end my list of all the things in this I'm upset about.
It's going to take more than one day to go over all of it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You know, one of the things that bothers me so much is the food. I think that must be the mama in all of us, but it's just like, oh, come on. You know, at the swimming hole, all of us kept putting in chat, what about food? What about, you didn't even feed her? And through the whole thing with Jose, that's why I said, oh my God, at least he cooked for them. Poor kids.
Poor kids.
Yeah. Like, you imagine after you've been swimming, everybody knows as a kid, when you went swimming, you got out of there and you were famished.
Yeah.
I don't care if my kids had just had a 7-course meal. Like, we just left from a restaurant and they ate, and I'm like, hey, everyone thirsty? Let's go into Sonic and get some dessert or whatever. They'd want to eat again.
Yeah.
They're growing children.
Tell me that Summer and Hunter were not starving.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Mm-mm.
Guys, I've kept you an hour and a half. I really didn't mean to, because of all the triggers in this and the very, very weighty subject of child abuse, animal abuse, and things that we just don't like to think about or talk about. So I really tried to keep it under an hour, but there was just way too much to talk about. But we're going to talk about it some more. We're going to talk about it again tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get a hold of ICU and see what her schedule is, and Justin's. I'd love to bring them up here and talk to them. I know Justin said yesterday he was going to be on. She said something about he was on the phone with a client probably. Totally understandable, because I know that the two of them are very, very busy and putting this together. Insane, great work. Great work. Pat, girlfriend, I love talking to you because you keep it real. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for having me up.
Anytime, anytime. Deb, As always, you speak your mind, you stick to the facts, and I loved having you up.
Thanks for having me up.
All right, see you guys in Discord. Don't forget at noon today, Central Time, we're going to be talking about Michael Vaughn, his case, and Novelist True Crime is going to be up with us. I love the work that channel has been doing for Michael Vaughn. He's the abducted little boy in Idaho, and the support he is giving to his family. And trust me, they need it. Please come back today at noon. So it's in about an hour and a half. This guy's going to knock your socks off. Okay. Good dude. Kat's going to be on panel. It's going to be a great show. Going to shed a lot of light. I promise. Mod Squad. You guys are rock stars. I swear to God, some days you must all wear capes. Swear to God, you must wear capes. And again, I'm not biased, but you guys are the best community on YouTube, and you are the best chat. Hands down, no one can take that from you guys. So going to see you back here at noon. What did I miss? Okay, sorry. Thought I missed a comment. Missed a lot of comments, actually. I apologize for that. I'll catch up on the replay. So again, thanks for being the best community on YouTube, having the best chat on YouTube. Be back here in an hour and a half, and gonna give lots of love to Monkey and his family. All right, see you guys in a little bit. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Time. See you tomorrow. And don't forget to come see me at noon. Bye-bye.